Hi, Scott.
Hello, Boris.
Hi. So I'm interviewing you for the next web blog, and let me first introduce you to the people watching. You're Scott Rafer. You're the Lookery CEO, the Meshery co-founder, and the Wingside chairman. And you were also associated, I don't even know as what, but to my blog. You're not a founder,
I
but
was I was CEO of my blog
right. And you sold that to Yahoo and
just about a year ago.
right. Okay. For how much?
The rumor was 10. You keep asking.
Okay. Yeah, I want to know. Okay. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions. And the first thing I want to know about is Lookery because I read the blog and looked at the website, but I'd like for you to tell me just in a few sentences what it is exactly. And yeah, can you start with that?
Sure. Lookery is an advertising network starting off on Facebook applications. It started with a guy named Dave Kinsell, whose last company is very well known in the U.S. and not at all known in Europe. It's called Compete.com.
Right.
It provides web-wide analytics, but only for U.S.
Well, actually, we
Someone
in
needs to.
Europe have heard of Compete. So
You'd be surprised.
I think
You know me, I talk
isn't
to a
it
lot of Europeans and very few know about it.
okay? I think it's just isn't it slightly bigger than Alexa right now? I think I saw some statistics.
They just passed
Right.
Alexa's traffic,
Right. Okay.
and they did so using Mastery's API management service.
Right. So
Um,
because you're in the Mastery offices right now, and this is your official meeting
this is
room,
where
right?
I work.
Yeah.
I met Dave because he was Mastery's first customer, and he was also an early My Blog user. And so we got this going in July. We've run roughly 1 billion ads on Facebook applications in our first 7 months, and we're moving off of Facebook to Bebo apps and Friendster apps, and even some advertisements out in the wide web this month. Well, next month. It's still January. Early in February, we're doing this.
Right. And these are very impressive numbers. Because can you tell me again the one? How many billions? What? How
1
many?
billion.
One
1 billion.
billion? What, on Facebook ads?
Yes. That's the number of ads, not the dollars.
Right. Because back to the dollars. How much did you make?
December was our first decent month. We did 170 million ads at 23 cents a thousand
Okay.
on average across the network. We paid almost every cent of it out to the publishers.
Right. I read that. Okay.
We're only starting to keep a little bit now.
Yeah. So
Um,
how much do you keep?
well, we give the publishers everything up until the first 20 cents, and then we split it from there.
Okay. That's pretty decent.
And it costs us 2 cents a thousand to serve the ads. So once we hit 24 cents a thousand, we've made a penny.
well, on 1 billion views, I mean, come on, this is
It's a
not
start.
bad. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a start. And we'll be able to push the network up, much higher than we have. As of today, we have moved off of Open Ads and onto Microsoft's merchant ad servers, which are called Atlas.
Oh, really? Why? Why did you leave
So
the
our
open
network
ads?
will get much more sophisticated, et cetera, this week.
Okay, so I thought OpenAds was a pretty decent platform, but why are you moving away from it?
Well, it is a pretty decent platform. We did serve 170 million ads off of it
Right.
on our Amazon Web Services account in December,
Okay.
which is pretty darn good. It was free. Thank you. $3,700 showed up on my MasterCard bill for the servers, but okay. Um, we're now that we're moving across multiple networks and are going to do more kinds of advertising campaigns, not just CPM, but some CPC, some CPA. We've hired a very high-end ex-ad arbitrager from Google and Yahoo, who's employee number 5. We just need to do a bunch of, fairly sophisticated things, and Open Ads is great for, lots and lots of simple work. So we're, upgrading.
Okay. And I read
But
you're
we're thrilled to have been using them when we were using them. We couldn't have gotten started without them.
Okay, and you're going to grow to 10 employees at the end of 2008 and be profitable then, I read on your blog. Is it true?
The goal is break even, and we have to do a billion and a half ads in December, and 2.5 billion for-profit API calls in order to be that many employees. Right, the kind of business we're in, we have to be doing, at the end of this year, 400 million commercial calls per employee per month to get anywhere, and we'll have to push that up to 500 or 600 million per employee a month in 2009.
Okay, and then who are you going to sell it to? The company, I mean.
I'll be making money. Why sell it?
Okay, cool.
We didn't know how to make money in my blog.
So how did you? Well, you sold it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The world seems so simple sometimes. Anyway, so I want to talk about your outlook for 2008 because, at the next web we try to focus on what the future brings and, futures. Let's take next year as the future. And I think you had a grim look for 2008 already a few years ago. I think you said...
Yeah, starting in 2004, I said I needed to be in cash by March of 2008.
Right. So
because of the U.S. presidential election cycle.
Right, okay. So can you explain a little bit more about that? Because you think 2008 is going to suck for the internet? Or
I think that Republican administrations are very good to heavy industries, not intellectual property businesses, during election cycles. They do very well by the mobile phone companies, by the railroads, by the steel manufacturers, by the car manufacturers. They're currently handing out lots of things to the people who build houses. They don't do so nicely by Silicon Valley or by Hollywood, especially because the governor of California is not their favorite guy right now.
Right. What's his name again?
So, Schwarzenegger.
Right, right.
Right. So, we're not talking about the crazy mess in 2001, 2002, right, when I did the right thing and moved to Amsterdam. But, we're going to have, an annoying year, and 2009, 2010, things will start being reasonable again.
Okay, this is interesting. So, can I ask you what got you excited this week? I'm sure there's some news this week that you thought, hey, wow, this is interesting,
Well, I'm really excited about the Obey Giants poster for Obama that's coming out.
The what?
I don't know. Do you know what the Obey Giant posters are?
No, I know about Obama, the YouTube version of Obama video something, but no, I don't know about the poster. Tell me.
Go over to the Laughing Squid blog that Scott Beale writes. He's got the prints up. There's a very famous set of anti-oppressive political posters that get spread a lot around San Francisco and New York that always say "Obey" at the bottom in big letters.
Ah, right, yeah.
And this guy is a big Obama fan and is, beginning to do Obama posters too, and they're going to be great.
Okay, this is interesting. Yeah.
I was also excited about the Kennedys backing Obama.
Yeah, but this is all
these are
very
the kinds of things that I care about right now.
I don't want to talk about politics, right? So
you asked what excited me.
Yeah, but I meant
what excites me is living in a democracy again.
Sure, the democracy.
I'm tired of it. What?
Okay, well, I understand, but
we can forget that now. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about politics unless it's online, of course. But
I mean, the big new Cisco router was actually interesting.
Which one?
Cisco came out with a thing called the Nexus 7000, which is some giant piece of routing gear whose special sauce is all about cloud computing, all about, the way Amazon offers EC2 and their storage solution, which is exactly how Mastery and Lookery run, right? We don't own any of our own servers. We barely have any sysadmins, any of that. So the big iron computing mainstream is beginning to sort of move over to the way Web 2 runs. where you've got virtual servers somewhere in the sky, and you've got a credit card bill, and that's it.
Right.
So
in the sky or on a boat. Is it true that there's a hosting provider that's putting service on a boat in the San Francisco Bay?
I've not heard of this.
Oh, I have. Well, anyway,
Okay.
so that's the positive news you were excited about. I also think you had some negative stuff you were excited about. I read something about the Mark Cantor post, which you read a rather
I
long
wasn't.
post.
I thought that he went after the wrong person going after Dave. McClure does a lot of good for moving the ball forward towards an open world, and after a while everyone just gets sick of Mark screaming the same things, not caring if anyone's listening, not caring if they're grounded in reality any longer. And I eventually, after knowing the guy for 12 or 13 years, had to question why.
Right, and I read your post and Mark's post, and of course the comments. The comments are even more entertaining than the post itself.
Well, on Mark's blog, no one reads mine except for you, so there's no comments
right,
on mine.
No, there's no comments there. No, I was talking about the Mark Cantor blog. So do you think there's a? So, as I read it, I thought, is this the start of a Mark Cantor backlash? And because I know people have been annoyed in the past by Cantor's, I don't know how to describe it, but do you think
persona?
His persona, right? His presence, you might say. So, but do you think there's a backlash coming up? I mean, I'm waiting for this to go to.
Everyone always runs around looking for backlashes. They end up lasting 20 minutes. Things decline, they don't crater.
Right.
Right. So, Mark, showed us a lot of great things with the people aggregator, us being the world. Unless he finds a way to take commercial advantage of all the cool new stuff he came up with, he'll be subsumed, and he's a genius, so he'll have to go on to the next thing and do it again another 5 or 10 years, and we'll go through this again. But I mean, the trick for Mark is to actually make a bunch of money off of his brilliant ideas, not to scream about them.
Okay, so I got 2 more questions. One thing is there anything you want to say to the Next Web readers? Just, you have an audience now, you can say anything. Do you have a message?
Last June in Amsterdam was great. I'm sure this April will be great. I hope I make it. I don't know yet.
Okay, well, you're invited, of course. And the last question I have is, so you sold my blog, how much did you sell it for?
You keep asking that. The rumor was 10. It was slightly low.
Slightly lower than 10?
No. The 10 was a slightly low number.
Oh,
the rumor was slightly low.
Oh, the rumor was slightly low. Oh, okay. So was it less than 20?
And everyone should use the My Blog API. The stuff that Todd is doing is very cool.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, thanks, Scott. And I'll ask you next time more of the same questions. And thanks for taking the time to do the interview.
Good.
Bye.